Agatha Christie was born on September 15, 1890, in the seaside resort of Torquay of Devonshire, on the south coast of England, from an American father, an American exchange agent, and English mother, a lady belonging to prominent social class. Orphan of father at only 10 years, she is raised by his mother, a woman with an extraordinary perception and a romantic fantasy often not collimating with reality. In any case, the father was certainly not an example of family virtues, being a woman more dedicated to cricket and cards than the family. Agatha's childhood was a normal bourgeois childhood if it weren't for the fact that she never went to school. His school education was taken over directly by his mother. After her mother's death and her husband abandoned, Agatha disappeared, and after a countrywide research, he found Agatha in Harrogate in northern England under an influence of amnesia. For 2 or 3 years, due to a severe depression, he wrote novels that were much inferior to his most full work. A remarkable yellow that he wrote was the Little Indian, which was released in Italy in 1946, and after the title and then nobody remained. The book, in Italy titled 10 Little Niger, became 10 Small Indians after the public protest about the connotation of word Niger, and then a huge success. Of the Devon coast, in Nigerian, 8 people are invited for a short journey by a certain Erlich Norman Owen, who lives on the island with his wife Nancy Owen. 8 are the first protagonists of the book, 10 Small Indians. They don't know each other. They were invited by landlord whose identity are don't know to a beautiful residence on an island of England. There are 10 people, 3 women and 7 foreign men invited to stay in a beautiful villa located in the island of Niger Island, which is characterized by its shape, Renaissance and black hair. Despite the strange invitation, who is for curiosity, would for opportunity have a chance to find themselves out there. Once arrived, however, they discover that the presumed Lord Owen is completely unknown, since not even the butler have ever seen him. After dinner, Butler Rogers puts the record as instructed by Owen, in which each character is accused of murdering people. It turned out, in fact, that all 10 people present are murdered, who then everything except for one of them. For the protagonist, begins a nightmare. In fact, each of them will be murdered according to a nursery rhyme of children located above the first place of each room. A nursery rhyme that tells of 10 little Nigers. Are also over the dining table are 10 porcelain Niger that at every death of a character decrease by 1. Little by little guests died and the porcelain figures disappeared. The first to die is the young Anthony Marson, poisoned after drinking a cocktail containing chine. Then Mr. Rogers died mysteriously in sleep. The adrenaline rise on the island so much that Blore, former police inspector Dr. Ramson, and Lombard decide to inspect the island, but don't find foreign people. The suspicion that the predator of the crimes may be one of the guests of the England is now beginning insinuated. The novel ends when the last survivor, Mr. Walgrave, admits in his reflection that he is the murderer, suiciding himself with a stratagem to create the mystery of Nature Island, the villa where the story unfolds, discourage the protagonists because they seem to be unable to escape their fate. They are in fact isolated in the villa. Beings modern should not hide secret passage, so they are even more afraid because they think that the murder is rightly on the Thames. We don't know exactly when the story takes place, but it should surely be after 1935 because it is the last date mentioned by the murderers. In the novels, there are, especially in the first part, numerous flashbacks causing a story rich in interestment and reflection made by protagonists. As far as the present linguistic form is concerned, we are talking about a mediumized language, and there is no differentiation in the language used by the protagonist of the story. The differences are only found in the way of thinking. With regard to the discourse, the direct one prevails with the dialogue, and there are also streams of consciousness and soliloquies. In the novels, the narrator is limited because he describes the facts as they happen. Sometimes he enters in the head of the character to describe their emotion and their thoughts. The book is very compelling, also thanks to the suspense that has been created. The difference between book and film are: in the book, the island is called Nature Island, in the TV series Soldier Island. The same is true for the nature of poetry that becomes audience. In the book, Rogers noticed the statuettes that disappear. In the book, Dr. Armstrong doesn't change with Miss Clayton after she researched the briefcase. In the series, Vera Clayton tries to escape from the island by swimming and is stopped by Wargrave, and all this in the book doesn't happen.